Hey everybody, welcome back to Halfshelltoys and Collectibles. It is Wednesday afternoon, and I've got a few things to share with you guys this afternoon that we've sold in the last 24 hours. So the first thing is this little Halloween blow mold. This little jack-o'-lantern with like a witch's hat. He's pretty small. He's only like maybe 9 inches tall. This is a 1995 Empire blow mold. It's got a regular style plug-in light from like the 90s would have. And we put a new LED bulb in him. So he sold for $25.19. He came in a lot of stuff that we got. I want to say we're $1 into this, maybe less, something like that. So really good profit. Keep your eyes out for vintage blow molds, definitely from the 90s and older. They do really well. Our next one is this 1970s Freakies cereal toy. And this one is actually Boss Moss. And for those of you from the 70s, that grew up in the 70s, you guys know what Freakies are. It's from a 1970s cereal. We sold the mail-away clock that we had just a few weeks ago. And that was in our very first video we did. The next thing we sold was this 2024 Lawrence Butler rookie card, and it sold for $1 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $2.12 for this shipped, and that'll just be shipped in a regular envelope. And then the next thing we sold was this 90s, I believe it's 90s, yep, 1995 Fisher Price Animal Families 3 polar bear set. It's new in the packaging, never been opened. They also had these other figures available that year. And we picked this up for $1 at a yard sale this summer. And it was kind of like a last minute thing, because we're going to be out of town for the weekend. So I messaged the person. I said, hey, is there a chance that we can stop by your yard sale this evening? And it was like 8 o'clock at night. But, you know, summertime, and still have like 2 hours of daylight. So the person was like, yeah, come on. So this is one of the items we picked up for $1, and it sold for $17.99. The buyer paid basically $29 shipped for this item. And the last item we have that sold in the last 24 hours is this camouflage Cummings hat, and it's hunting season, so this hat's like basically brand new. We picked up, I believe, 2 of these at a yard sale for like 50 cents a piece. And this one sold for $10 plus shipping. I think we had it listed for $12.99, and I accepted an offer of $10. So that's what we've sold in the last 24 hours. I'll do another video for our next round of sales. Thanks. Hey everybody, it's Thursday afternoon, and we did have some sales in the last 24 hours. So I thought I'd do a quick video to show you guys what we got going on here. So our first thing that we sold was this vintage Singer sewing machine tin. It's very small. And this sold for $6 plus shipping. I got this in the next town over. Someone had put a bunch of stuff out in front of their house, put an ad on Facebook saying that it was all free. So we went and looked through some of the stuff, and this is one of the items that I picked up. Wasn't sure what kind of value it was. I just grabbed it because it was in decent shape. And so it sold for $6 plus shipping. The next item we have is this vintage Halloween decoration. For you 90s kids, you know what this is. So they make that spooky sound, and his teeth chatters, and his light flashes, and
Halloween fun. Pick up some spooky decorations at Walgreens. Just $7.99 each. Scary sound-activated Halloween figures, battery-operated pirate skull, witches, skeletons, and more. Stock up on Halloween candy, too. Walgreens has a wide selection of treats and goodies of all kinds.
they had ghosts, they had jack-o'-lanterns, they had witches, spiders, all different kinds. I want to say this one is a later release, maybe even late 90s, early 2000s. This one was probably coming out, but because most of the first ones from the 80s and early 90s, they were just a light up mechanism inside the middle that shook and made the sound. Then they had something that draped over it. So this is a little later. But this item sold for $14 plus shipping, and it works. It's in good condition. Has a little bit of paint wear here and there, but overall, it's in great shape. So $14 plus shipping on that one. And our next item is another Halloween item, and it's vintage as well. And it's a ceramic light up pumpkin stack. And I want to say it's from the 80s. It does have a stamp right here, and it's very hard to see. But it does, I believe it does say 1984 on there, so it's definitely mid-80s. The paint job is really good. There's no chips on this thing, except for the very, very top has a little tiny chip right there. So it's in really good condition. A lot of the other ones on eBay, they have some chips. The paint wasn't as good. So I think I listed this one for $27.99, and I accepted an offer for $22 plus shipping. And man, the shipping on that kind of stuff is expensive because of all the extra packaging, and it has got to be in a bigger box, and it's heavy ceramic. So the customer paid $41.56 shipped for that. All right, the next item we have is our last Pup Cup Dutch Brothers magnet, and this was from September 16th when they did their magnet drop on a Monday. This is free. You gotta remember, sticker drops and stuff like this are free at Dutch Brothers, and it sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Our next item is a Christmas blow mold. This little guy. So I'm sure, you 90s kids probably, at least I do, I remember this in Walmart. It was a lot bigger, probably like 36 inches tall, 24 inches tall. But this is definitely 90s Walmart. But this little guy was actually a pathway marker. So it had a thing on the bottom here to where you can attach it to a stake, put the stake in the ground, and then they would light up at night. But so I found a lot of I want to say like 40 of these things. And I paid like $60 for them. So I'm like $1.25, $1.50-ish into this guy. And then I bought the cord and light off Amazon. And I thought, you know what? I could just buzz a hole in the back of this guy. Put an LED bulb in there so it's not going to get hot. And then market these as perfect tabletop blow molds for people who live in apartments or condos and stuff in cities, so they can kind of get that same nostalgia in their apartment that you would normally have outside your house. So I thought it was a great opportunity. I've got a ton of these to sell, and I sold my first one, and this one I listed them for $19.99, and then everything in my stores usually always 10% off. And so, but I accepted an offer on him for $15. So just to get the ball rolling, I just wanted to get one out the door. So it's going to be like a $10 profit on this guy, which is totally fine with me, because after the next 40 or so sell, that's a great profit on this stuff for very little work. Drill a hole, clean it up, put the light in there, take some pictures. So that was a good one. So that sold for $15 plus shipping. This next one, I'm not going to take it out of the box, but it is a vintage Avon Halloween item. This is the box here. Throw a picture of it up here so you guys can see what it is. But it is a vintage Halloween mobile, and you hang them from the ceiling, and then you can pull down on the pumpkin below, and the wings move on the witch. So it's a really cool vintage item. Hardly any of them out there. I was really surprised. So typically I list my Avon stuff a little lower, but this one, since I only saw one, I decided to list it high, and so I listed it for $25, I think, and then I accepted an offer for $20 plus shipping on that one. And then our last one is this guy. So this is a pound cake mold. It's from the 60s. It's cast aluminum. And I got this at a pick for, I want to say free, but not really, because I was helping the family go through stuff, take stuff out of the house, go through it, put stuff in a donate pile, put stuff in a pile of stuff that I wanted, and then throwing the rest of it in a dumpster. So I did work for this stuff, but I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. So this I was surprised. I grabbed them because I knew they had to be worth something, but I didn't know how much they were going to be worth. So this sold for $29.69 plus shipping. And I've got a lamb and one other one to sell. I got the lamb listed, but the other one's not listed yet. So I was pleasantly surprised. This is an item that I would not pick up at yard sales. But now that I got one for nearly nothing, did the research, and actually made a sell, I'll definitely put this in my mental Rolodex, and this will be picked up at yard sales from now on if they're $1 or $2, especially if they're going to sell for $30. So, all right, guys, I think that is everything for the last 24 hours. And once we get some more sales, I'll do another video tomorrow on Friday, and then we'll compile everything and get that video out on YouTube. Hey, it's Friday afternoon, and I'm working on getting packages ready to ship off before the weekend sets in, and have a few sales to show you guys. First one is this 1970s Presto hot dogger, and this is actually in the shipper box that they would actually ship them out to the customer in. It was probably bought out of a catalog or something, but it's got the manual in there, and the cord's wrapped in plastic. It's a brand new unit. And then the hot dogger's in plastic as well. And this is what it looks like. The hot dogger. It's got a long wiener dog on there. So, but these things, you put the hot dog on them across there, and it connects the circuit, and then pop it in there, and it heats them up. So, pretty fancy little kitchen appliance. So that's from the 70s, and oops, I put it back on plastic. So that one sold for $35.99, and we actually have one more of these to sell. We got two of them at a pick, so we're like, I don't know, a couple bucks into them. So, all right, and the next thing that we have is this vintage 1990 McDonald's quarter pounder toy, and he folds out into this little monster. It's got a little transforming thing, and his legs pull down. So this little guy, I remember having this one as a kid, actually. So, and it's called a Cheezosaur. That's what it's called. And it sold for $4 plus shipping. Shipping's so expensive. I hate that. I hate that. You know, someone bought this for $4, then they had to spend more than $4 to get it shipped. It's just stupid. So they ended up spending $10.34 on this little guy. Our next item. So this was a pretty good sale. This is a Bebop Funko Pop, and he's in a case there, a protector, and he sold for $102.59. So this is actually out of my personal collection. I had all of the early Funko Pops for Turtles, and I decided, I don't know, about a year ago or so, I was just going to sell all my Pops. So listed them, I don't know, like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and sold Rocksteady, I want to say a week or two before I started doing videos, within the last month and a half. And I think he sold for like 110, 115, something like that. So, yeah, this one's going to a new home. 120 shipped for this item. So, and then we've got this vintage Pyrex measuring cup. This one does have one little flaw. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the 350 there's kind of wore off. But besides that, it's in great shape. There's no cracks or nicks, chips, nothing like that on this one. And it sold for $17.99 plus shipping. I think we paid $1 for this at a yard sale, so not bad. And then the last one I have to show you guys is this Briar Show Dog. He's a really small little Jack Russell Terrier. For some reason, the dogs sell better than the horses. At least that's what my experience has been. I think I have one more show dog to sell, but they've been outselling the horses. So this one sold for $10 plus shipping, $17.12 shipped. This is what the customer paid for him. So I think that's our last one, guys. So Sunday through today, our sales have been decent. I think we had like a $900 week, which was great because I'm trying to hit my sales goal for the month. I want to talk about my sales goal here real quick. I made a goal for myself like 3 or 4 months ago. After looking at our finances and our budget and stuff, I came up with a sales goal that I needed. So my net would give us enough money to pay our bills and live comfortably, not have to think twice about going and doing something if we wanted to do it. And especially with a kid on the way, our first kiddo, he's set to be born like any day. So within the next week or two, he should be here. So, but my sales goal that I made for myself was $3,800, and I am within $325 of meeting that goal for this month. So that's like $300 closer than I was last month. So if I don't hit it this month, hopefully that ball will keep rolling, and I'll be able to meet that next month. But still, by what I'm seeing from my numbers, my goal may have been a tad high for what my net is, for where I wanted my net to be. But a lot of that has to do with shipping costs too. So it's kind of weird. So your goal, I kind of put the goal up there a little bit. So if shipping costs and what I got to keep versus what I had to spend for shipping was higher or lower, it would get me as close to the net that I needed to be at. So, I mean, next month, my total sales could be exactly what they are right now, but my net be higher or my net be lower, depending on what I had to pay out of pocket for shipping, if I had to pay more for shipping, or if I had to pay less for shipping than what the customer paid. So it kind of all trickles down and adds up to something different every month. So even if I meet the goal. So $325 away from that goal, but my net is within like $50 of where I want it to be. So, you know, so it's very, very doable to get my net goal this month, even though I haven't reached my total sales goal. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really hoping that the weekend sales push me over into the total sales goal. And I know for a fact that my net goal will be dead on or more. So that's a really good feeling. You know, I've been trying different things in the past to make money on my own, and it's been a huge struggle with not very many wins. My last venture, I had a huge score at the very beginning, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. And that was right before the economy really started to tank. So I got that really nice big score that really set me off. I quit my full-time job and started that venture, and it just seemed to kind of slow down. The economy started to tank, and I knew that was probably going to happen. And people were telling me before I quit my job, "You're quitting at the worst time possible. The economy is about to tank. We know it." And it did. The economy got terrible. But I don't regret quitting my job. I don't regret it at all. We had some hard times, some sketchy times, but we have come out of that now. And I'm very, very thankful for what the people around me have helped me do. So I wouldn't be at this moment with my sales goal if it wasn't for networking. My family telling people what I do, my friends telling people what I do, and getting phone calls and texts from people saying, "Hey, so-and-so told me you're doing this. I've got a truckload of stuff that I'm going to take to Goodwill. If you want it, you can come get it. Or I've got a house full of stuff that I'm going to take to Goodwill. You can come look through anything you want." So that is a huge, huge blessing. And if I were to give one word of advice in my video today, it would be tell everybody what you do. Some people are ashamed for some reason that they're a reseller, and they don't want to tell anybody because they're afraid that they're going to get backlash and stuff for buying stuff for $1 and selling it for $50, you know. But not everybody's going to do that. So tell your friends, tell your family what you do, put it on social media, what you do, and you will be pleasantly surprised at how many people want to support you. Because all of the people around you, they dream of being in a position where they can make a living on their own and be their own boss. So, by what I have found, minus a few people in my life, everybody wants to support you. There's maybe a 1%, 2% of the people that are in your bubble that are going to get irritated with you and upset because, quite frankly, they're jealous. So the more people that know what you're doing and the wider your networking can get, the better off you're going to be. I'm still going to go to yard sales every weekend in the summer, but the amount of inventory that I have got through word of mouth and networking is far more than what I could have got at yard sales all summer long, and the cost was nearly nothing. After all the work that I put in, helping these individuals, our families, our friends, most of it was free, and not all of it. Some of it was, "Hey, come check out this estate before we do an estate sale, and if there's anything you want, we'll work out a super good deal for you." And that's the case. You know, you pick out 2 or 3 boxes worth of stuff, and you pay literally a quarter, 50 cents, a dollar, and you walk away paying $40 and you've got $1,000 worth of inventory, and so network, word of mouth, tell people what you do, because people will want to support you. If you are a genuinely honest, humble person that's trying to make it on your own, people are going to want to help you. So that is my word of advice. I haven't been doing this very long, but I have been reselling for a couple of years. I haven't been doing eBay for longer than maybe eight months. But it was the same way when I was doing cars. Before I even left my job, I'd had a couple people tell me, "Hey, I got a truck that I'll sell you for $1,000. I got a truck I'll sell you for $500." There was another guy that actually just wanted to give me a truck. And I met him through my job that I was working at. He was a truck driver. And he was like, "Hey, I got this truck. I was going to get it. Someone's going to give it to me, but I don't have time for it. And you need it. So I'm going to give it to you." And we ended up selling that truck for like $2,200. So it took a lot of cleaning because it was a work truck. We took a lot of cleaning, and we made a profit on it. So no matter what you do, if you're not doing eBay but you're doing something else, networking is key, and it's huge, and it's profitable, and and people are more than willing to help you. So that's my word of advice for today. Guys, have a great weekend. I'm hoping I have a great weekend in sales. So let's see what Monday brings. I'll put another video on Monday, and hopefully I'm saying, "Oh, we had a huge weekend. I met my goal." We'll see. So thanks, guys. Thank you for the support. Hit subscribe. Hit a like button. Share. Same with networking on resell, networking and social media. I need your guys' help to get me where I need to be to support my family. So I really, really appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. Have a nice weekend.
One love when the lights go